Hi, I'm BonBonB. Yeah, that's me. With around 18,000 subscribers, over 3,000 videos and 8,000 hours in game, I might just be the largest City Skylines YouTuber not to be given early access to City Skylines 2. But that's okay. I have a plan. Early access for everyone else indirectly means early access for all of us as well, and all we need to do is watch all of the shows and learn. And I was going to watch them all for you and compile the results and then share them here for you in a heavily edited, fast moving bullet point fashion. But as the hours went on, the playlist grew longer and longer and longer and even longer until when starting your city, if you're lacking in inspiration, there is now a random name generator. The maps now load really fast. For Teddy Radko, this was only 23 seconds. The start square is still a square, but this time a predefined 3x3 tile grid. You can make money from the start by simply selling excess electricity, and using this hack, you could earn millions before your first population even arrives. For a quick overview of the well-being of the city, simply check the new happiness meter. To change the direction of one-way traffic, you now left-click and drag in the opposite direction. Elevation steps are now more forgiving, starting at just 1.25 meters. You can toggle off the white info viewer overlay by simply clicking the I button in the top left-hand corner of the screen. Zoning will prioritise the older road, so use this to your advantage when planning districts. You can use the terrain editor for free, even outside your purchased tiles, though personally I feel this is too overpowered for a vanilla rules build. You can now snap to either the edge or to the middle of a road, so make sure you are consistently measuring from the correct position in the road to build your perfect layout. Take a moment to check out the reflection in this swimming pool. If your nodes are close enough to each other, the game will automatically fill things in. This could be a feature or a curse. Zoning extends underwater, which could benefit harbour buildings with cranes, etc. Intersection building will be much easier. You can create junctions by simply drawing through the intersecting roads, and then you can drop a roundabout on them to create, well, a roundabout, obviously. The new cut and fill mechanic can and will be used for keys, as almost every creator has utilised this trick for themselves. You don't need to build roads before placing your service buildings. Instead, place and rotate the building and then bring in the roads. Furthermore, service buildings can be switched off, but they will still incur a small service charge. There is a hotkey to remove the user interface. Sadly, I wasn't able to learn which one it is, though it's probably in the options menu. Check out this parking lot in Joy City. Cars pulling in, finding that it is full, and then leaving. Ultra realistic. While Move It doesn't exist, you can relocate buildings across the map, again including where you haven't yet built a road. It is unclear to me at this point if you can also do this with growables. Speaking of mods, Traffic Manager isn't in the game, but some road control exists by simply using development points to unlock advanced road services. This might be enough for some players. You can only plant saplings and need to wait for the adult tree to grow. True to life, but it does take quite some time. There is also a tree brush and it has an erase feature, but will only delete the selected tree. Again, this could be a feature or a curse. New vanilla standing stones be like. New vanilla castle ruins be like. City Planner Plays found this neat hack for making a pedestrian roundabout. The new photo mode looks awesome, though you probably already know this as the dev diary will be out before this video releases. Many players have complained they couldn't build dense forests, and the reason is that right now we can only plant saplings. Naturally, we can't plant them too close together so as to allow them room to grow and expand. Surely a new full tree mod will be the first one to hit the workshop, given that the devs already allow us unlimited terraforming but only give us baby trees. Curved road zoning. That's all I have to say. Few Candy found that you can defend against cell incursions by pre-zoning any you wish to secure. There aren't any cul-de-sacs. Again, and many players were using small roundabouts for the same result. Lane merges can still need some finagling to get absolutely right. We previously said that the new mechanic for reversing road directions is to draw a line backwards, but according to City Planner Plays, this is trickier than it sounds on curved roads. Resource painting seems as poor as in the first game, and of course it depletes, which makes very little sense for fertile given that we've been farming in Europe for millennia. The highways look bumpy, but from the driver's eye view, this probably wouldn't be too bad. Low density housing needs giant cranes. Please bring back the scaffolding. The big old bridge is truly horrific. Tunnels aren't fully rendered yet. Well, actually, tunnels aren't actually rendered at all yet. The pedestrian animation is infinitely better than before the adult diaper patch. Toadie named a citizen Toadie and followed Toadie. Later in the same month, Toadie had disappeared. Water flow on maps can be interesting. Also, wind direction on maps never seems to change. Helpful for planning, but what the f***? It isn't immediately obvious how much space is needed for service building upgrades. Not so helpful for planning. It looks like farms will be detailing themselves. A great new concept, but very poorly executed. The maps are so bare, they are uninviting and uninspiring. There isn't a contour view while road building, making true planning completely impossible, meaning that many testers had to pre-flatten entire tiles of land, removing the point of a map full stop. Also, Ctrl-Z doesn't work in the terrain editor. Sims no longer have pocket cars, but haven't quite mastered the art of walking around to the driver's side to get in. But service vehicles are all kinds of hokey. The new grid road tool is self-adapting, meaning you probably won't get the actual shape you want, and there are no manual controls. The game has been designed to be mostly self-balancing, meaning there is very little need to micromanage. Surely this means one of the most lauded simulation improvements is completely pointless. There isn't a subcategory for light industrial or for warehousing, meaning that all of your industrial areas will look like this. There is no line tool included. Gas stations don't have curb drops. Forest fires. You can spam service buildings on pause and then demolish them for a full refund to unlock enough expansion points to unlock absolutely everything. The highest population I remember for Milestone 1 was just 123, and many builders had reached this level before even a single sim had arrived. This guy, hitting the garden, only to come straight back inside the moment it started raining. But rain doesn't actually make things wet yet. Snow doesn't fall on buildings. Trees don't change colour in the autumn. Yada yada. Trees can be planted in cement. There are visual glitches everywhere. The most real thing ever in City Skylines. Watch this taxi push in front of the bus, which is already on the junction. And so, in conclusion, given that we have only seen up to milestone number 4, I think we can make a few clear judgments. Yes, it is beta, and it looks beta, but it also looks like a very strong foundation for many years of product development. It's no surprise to anyone that there will be a steady flow of DLCs, and as long as that reinforces a strong base game, I am good with this. But there's a lot, and I mean a lot, of work to follow based on what we've seen this week. I do have faith. The game will have evolved a lot since this beta version, and many of the flaws and glitches may already have been resolved. The main taking from all of this is that the vanilla game will produce amazing looking grid cities. But the jury is out on anything more organic, which is a huge disappointment, given that this was also a weakness of the original game and should have been improved upon. And this was something I was shouting about in my speculation video 2.5 years ago. The road tools are by far the biggest win, and it isn't surprising that the devs led with this in the opening developer diary. As for the maps, well, they are leaps and bounds above City Skylines 1's vanilla base game maps. On the whole, I would say many of the maps are a solid, if somewhat uninspiring canvas, though some are definitely better than others. I do encourage you to go watch some extra footage from the playlist yourself, maybe taking in someone you've never heard of before. A big shout out to Joy Build Cities who took the time to compile the playlist, and I've linked this into the description for your convenience. And that is it. I hope this throwing of the net over the findings of my fellow and somewhat more fortunate content creators will have highlighted some points that you may have missed, and made you think in a new or different way about the game. Before I go, can I recommend a fantastic little weekly show on my channel, where each week I talk to a special guest about all things City Skylines, City Skylines 2, and a bit of friendly banter too. The show goes out every Saturday at 2 o'clock UK time, and it's called City Skylines 2 o'clock. Check it out if you get the chance. A big shout out to the BonBon Buddies, my channel supporters on Patreon and YouTube membership. Without you, I wouldn't be where I am today. And note, this video wasn't sponsored by Paradox or Colossal Order. Thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing. I've been BonBonB and you've been very welcome.